Mr. Barnack here. We're back to talk about Intro to Pottery, Pottery 1, and Pottery 2, Advanced Pottery. Both courses have a $20 fee for the semester, as do all of our ceramic or clay classes to go towards the cost of the clay, the glaze, and the firings. As always, you can see thousands of samples of work because what I'm going to give you is just kind of a generic overview look of those courses. Pottery 1. We might start with using a pinch, how to wedge, start simple, making some shakers, and then what we call an advanced pinch, working on a larger scale, starting to talk about additive and subtractive features. Students will get to work with coils, hand-built as well as using the extruder. We'll look at Yeomanware, we'll talk about negative space and changing the direction of the coils and building a coil piece. Next, students will also learn how to throw slabs and use the slab roller. Different method of building would be our third one in 3 assignments. And how you want to build more decorative or sculptural is always dependent upon the student. So again, these are a general sample. Every semester is a little different. Container with a lid. These would be an example of more sculptural ways of solving that piece. We could have more traditional functional decorative pieces. Here they look like an owl or the elephant and they have a lid component to them. It's another way of solving the prompt or the criteria for the assignment. Both students worked with subtractive features and of course additive features in their piece as well. That's always the hack to doing well in pottery, is dealing with that surface. In Pottery 1, students will get a touch on the wheel. Depending on class size, usually it's 10 school days, just to get a feel for what it's like to center and then hopefully open and make a cylinder. We'll also have other prompts like creature or machine, and those are open to interpretation by the artist and how they choose to solve those. I do my best each semester to end with teacher-approved choices. Some students really like to hand build and they have ideas of what they want to make. Like this coil piece that's a stack of pancakes and the top one's also a lid that comes off. Some students really take to the wheel and like to continue to throw on the wheel and want to explore that. And in Pottery 2, there's still hand-built pieces and more wheel components. And we're getting much closer to a 1-to-1 ratio of students to wheel, which is exciting because it's going to give students more opportunity to be on the pottery wheel. Especially those that choose to will have much more exposure to the pottery wheel than in the past. We'll start with a face mug with a handle, as well as 3 cylinders, and we'll talk about undulating forms and hand pressure so that you can do things like this on the right. I always give a prompt, and there's lots of ways to solve that prompt. That prompt is a jumping off point for the criteria that we have to meet. Some face mugs are funny and realistic, some are creepy and scary, some are done on the wheel, some are done with coil, some are done with slab. The student always has say in how they're going to approach that. Again, another prompt would be like the birdhouse. Not necessarily a functional birdhouse, but how does that look to you? And then we'll do bowls on the wheel, and how we do bowls, and that's a very large bowl. And start to get a series on the wheel and learn how to trim into foot and be consistent with our throwing. We've done different studies, but one of them has been like the ceramic shoe study, where we're finding an object and studying that and building that, and both of those cases are out of slab, as well as having choice then for functional pieces on the wheel, like the bowls on the right. So in Pottery 1 and Pottery 2, both have hand-built components to them. Both will have teacher-approved choice components in them. Students will start with a prompt. And in Pottery 2, you have more time on the wheel. You'll have more choice as you go. And you can really start to hone that skill, both hand-building and with pottery wheel. If you have any questions, as always, shoot me an email, stop by the art room and ask. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.